welcome back to my channel. It's Molly here today with another video about, well, I guess it's not really about Robin, it's kind of about me today. So I'm going to talk about being a long-term carer and kind of coming to terms with that, how I think about it. So I've been a carer for over a year now for my little daughter Robin, who has extra needs. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave a link down below. And yeah, that's what I'm going to chat about today. But by the way guys, if you like my makeup look today, that I have just done a video on my updated makeup routine, so definitely go check that out after you've watched this video as well. So I'm just going to jump straight into it and chat to you guys today. I have some notes here because I thought I can't keep it all in my head, so we're going to talk about being a long-term carer. So first of all, I don't think this video will be just the one video. I don't really see how you can cover everything in just one video about being a carer and being a long-term carer, because the emotions you feel around being a carer, especially when it's your child, are always changing, always flowing. So I'm just having a chat with you guys about how I feel about it at the moment, and it may well change in the future, but I hope that if you're a carer, maybe if you're struggling with it, this will help give you some emotional guidance in some way, that it's okay and you can do this. Like I always say in all my videos, please do share with whoever you think might be interested, whoever this might help. If you think anyone might be in a similar position, feeling like they don't have much support, it would be great if we could reach out to the biggest community as we possibly can. This channel's growing so well and it's so lovely to hear all your wonderful feedback all the time. So let's keep it up, guys. So, in my notes here, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it and pretend, you know, that I've memorised all these things and things, but the first point I wrote down when I was making this list was, she's still here. Now, when we were first in hospital, we were very much told that it was, you know, probably 30% chance that she would survive, maybe if you're lucky, 70% chance that she was going to die, and earlier on it was much reduced that she would survive. But you know, we're just moving on from that. I'm getting notifications on my phone, which is really distracting. But yeah, for me, I just try and be grateful she's still here. When I'm really struggling with the days, you know, when she's been really sick, because Robin has acid reflux, when she's been really sick or something and I think, oh, I just don't want to do this again today. I don't want to see my child in pain. I don't want to struggle through this. I don't want to be thinking about the what ifs. I try and kind of backtrack with myself and I think, okay, maybe this is hard and maybe this really hurts you in many ways, but how would you feel if she wasn't here? And I kind of imagine a day waking up as if she wasn't here, and that really helps me get a sense of perspective of how grateful I am that she's still here. And by no means am I grateful to be a carer every day, but just making sure that my daughter is still here with me is a really important thing for me to remember. So the next point I wrote down is sometimes you feel trapped, and that's so true. I do feel trapped a lot of the time. You know, it's hard as a 20-year-old thinking, you know, the years are ticking by in the sense of my career, and you know, I'd only just finished college when I got pregnant and everything like that. I was thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do? She's going to need full-time care for at least the next 5 years, and that's, you know, and then the only way that will be reduced is if she goes to kind of special daycares and things like that. So it is hard to think, okay, what do I do with myself? Where does my self-worth come from? And that's part of the reason why I share my story on YouTube. And I would really suggest that if you're someone else in a similar position, if you can find a way of sharing your story, like a blog or, you know, videos or letters or writing a book, even if it doesn't go anywhere, it's a really good way of giving yourself some purpose. And I think re-establishing that purpose in your life is really important when you know you're going to be a carer long term. So I think that's very important. A little side note on this is that I always try really hard to get up, do my makeup and everything. I think it's very easy as a carer just to kind of let go and think, actually, what's the point? All I'm doing is caring for someone. I'm not going out, I'm not doing anything. And for me, it's really important that I do keep up with those standards with myself, so that my self-worth is always being kind of reaffirmed, rather than the only thing in my life is caring. I think it's worth, you know, when you're a carer as well, you're thinking, well, I may well outlive the person I'm caring for. You've got to think, well, what's going to be left? I know it's incredibly morbid, but you do need to stop and think, well, what will be left if, you know, it was just me again? And it's important making sure that you've still got that kind of self-worth and that path for yourself as well, even though you're caring for someone. And this is going to sound very harsh, and it's not the way I intend it to sound, but you're not the one who's disabled. You are still privileged that you are able-bodied, and it's still a privilege that you are well enough to care for that person. And I think that that is a really, really important point to remember when you're caring for someone. Anyway, I digress from my list. The next thing on my list is focus on living well, and this is definitely something that I struggled with majorly when we came out of hospital. I was in a really dark place, you know, I was doing my best to look after my daughter, but emotionally I was fried, you know, I didn't know what to think. I was kind of having a breakdown in many ways. Maybe I should have got therapy. But anyway, living well, and for me, this is very simple for me. I have smoothies all the time. I invest in fresh fruit for smoothies all the time. I invest in having avocados. I know that's silly, but that's just something I like to eat. And I make sure that I really appreciate these small things. It's almost living a bit minimalist in some ways, I suppose. And I try and just slow down and think, you know, I've really got to enjoy this meal, you know, look forward to my smoothies, look forward to my avocado on toast in the morning. And that way you just reconnect to yourself, and you have little things which keep you motivated each day. And it's hard at first, you know, especially if you've been used to going out a lot or something, actually appreciating these small things, but that's really important. Also, this is next on my list, is take a day at a time. Taking a day at a time is so important, especially when you're caring for someone who's possibly slightly, their condition's unstable. You do just have to take every day as it comes. You know, you've just got to be kind of grateful as you can be for each day, and try not look to the future. I know when I think, where am I going to be when I'm 50? My heart just breaks into 1,000 pieces. I'm like, I don't know. Will Robin be here? Won't she be here? There's this duality between will she, won't she? The duality between when I have other kids, that sort of thing. If I just look at it a day at a time, that's all I can control is today, and that helps you just refocus on that day rather than kind of thinking of all the things that you might miss out on. It might be that other doors are opened in different ways, and actually by not looking at the future, you'll probably have a brighter future because you're not spending so much time worrying about the future that you're not actually enjoying the day to day and building up that lifestyle and enjoying your lifestyle and running yourself down. You're actually building yourself up. And you may well be inspired to do things like I was inspired to share my story on YouTube. So yeah, that's another thing. Right, I mustn't waffle on too much because I can see that I'm already at 9 minutes and I don't want to keep you all day. So next on my list, I wrote this list yesterday by the way, next on my list, so it is fresh in my mind, having hobbies. This is huge. If you guys follow my channel, I love my gardening. I really enjoy my sewing. I'm trying to sow in the winter and garden in the summer so I don't get bored of either. So yeah, having hobbies is absolutely vital, whether those hobbies are commercially viable or not. You know, it's fun if they are, because hey, maybe you'll build a career for yourself that you didn't even realise. But even if it's painting, all the things I've done, I can do nails, I can garden, I can cook, I can do my makeup, I can film videos, edit videos, I can play the flute, I'm probably missing something, sewing, that's about it. But I have all these things that I enjoy to do, and in my spare time I really use those things to fill my life and to make myself feel fulfilled and like, hey look, my life really is worth something. And I love doing all the different, I love doing all the different hobbies I do. I find it really enriching and it's just great. And I like to think as well that because I'm a carer and I'm always at home looking after Robin, I'm in the privileged position I get to enjoy my hobbies and do my hobbies a lot more than I would do if I had a normal or different needs baby, or normal what's the right thing to say? But yes, I have a lot more time to do your hobbies, and that's something worth being grateful for if you're a carer, is, you know, actually, do you have more time to do the things that you want to do? Well, especially, I know in my case, I do. I don't know what that's like for other people, but yeah, I am in the privileged position. I do have plenty of time to pursue my hobbies as well. This is another point. I'm loving my points I wrote down yesterday. I got a good coverage of all the ways I feel about caring. Accepting that some days it's gonna feel too much. This is huge. I mean, some days you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna want to get out of bed. Speaking for myself only, of course. There are some days when I think, oh, I just can't today, I just don't want to. I'm lucky enough that when I feel like that, I can call Morgan, I can go, Morgan, take over for the day, and he always does. But it is accepting that some days it's not going to be okay. Some days you're going to hurt so much more than other days, and it's going, okay, maybe today's terrible, but tomorrow is probably going to be better, or the day after is going to be better, and there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days, you know, for whatever either day is worth. It's great that, you know, what's that saying? You don't know, what's the saying from the song? You don't know you've been high unless you've been low. I hope that doesn't have any other connotations, but you don't know, you know, that you've been happy if you haven't been sad. It's that kind of yin and yang, I guess. So there are going to be some days where it's overwhelming, and that would be true of everyday life, whether you were caring or not. That would be true. So that's really worth bearing in mind when you're having a bad day. Next page. This may be hard for some people, but I definitely try to do this, is I have to have very specific downtime. So when Robin goes to bed in the evening, every other day I have a nice relax, and I have about a 2-hour-long bath. I use quite a lot of water. Yes, it does use quite a lot of electrical water, but I have this long period of time where I do nothing. No one's allowed to disturb me, no one's allowed to get in my hair, no one's allowed to ask me anything, no one's allowed to ask me anything, and I just have this very, very important period of time where I don't allow anyone to kind of get in my way, and that really helps refresh me and get me ready for the next day. And I always notice that the day after I've had a bath, I'm a bit more perky than the day when I didn't, but I couldn't have a bath every day, that'd be a bit too expensive in my eyes. But yes, that is a big thing. Make specific downtime for yourself, even if it's just an hour in the evening. Make that time, and that is something that I think we must all do, whether we're carers or we're working a 9-to-5 job or whatever you're doing. You need specific downtime where you don't feel guilty about taking a break and pampering yourself. This is another thing I've really struggled with, especially until recently, is just slow down. You know, if you're a carer, you don't necessarily need to go out and, well, in my case, I don't have to go out and work, and that means that it's really important for me to, you know, when I take the dog out for a walk, I just don't walk too quickly. I don't march around the village, I potter around the village, I look at the trees, I look at the flowers that are coming out, you know, I enjoy the smells of, you know, the plants and the gardens and things like that. Just slowing down is really important, and that's really important in life, let alone being a carer. But slowing down definitely does make you feel calmer, and I always feel calmer and more grounded, and I can cope with the sick and the nappies, the physio, all that kind of stuff a lot better if I just slow down in the first place. One of them is share your story, which I touched upon just now, but I do think sharing is taking a weight off your shoulders, definitely. I think if you feel heard, you feel a lot more validated in what you're doing. The other thing, and this is something that I really enjoy doing, and I actually look forward to this, is I actually have work days. So I actually consider myself working on a Tuesday and a Friday. So on a Tuesday and a Friday, I speak to health professionals, I sort out prescriptions, I write emails, I do all that kind of fun stuff. I take phone calls, I tell people that they can only call or visit on Tuesdays and Fridays, and that way I feel like I have a job, instead of just it being kind of dirgy and every day rolling into the next. Having these specific days means that I feel a lot more in control of my life. I feel a lot more in control of looking after well-being, and considering it as that work and job. So, you know, I consider myself a nurse and a mother, even though I'm not actually a medical professional. That really helps me get that balance and think, okay, I'm being a nurse right now, I need to talk to the health professionals, and then the other days I can step away, and even though I do need to carry on with physio and medication and things like that, step away and I'm a mother today, you know, and that just really helps, that mindset just really helps me cope with the kind of day-to-day grind of it. Now, my last point and my closing point, and I'm sorry I've waffled on at you all as much as I have. I thought this video would be a little quicker than it has been. If you're stuck around to this end, I'm so glad you're still here. The most important thing is be proud of your work. I am so immensely proud to be a carer for my daughter. I believe I'm a good carer. I work to the best of my ability to make sure that my daughter is having the best future she possibly can. I'm giving her all the opportunities she can so that she can achieve to the best of her abilities, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that every day. Even if I'm having a bad day, you know, I'm proud because I know that I'm giving my daughter the best chances that I possibly can, and I think that that is such a huge point. I should have probably put it at the beginning of the video, but I think that's just paramount. Be proud of what you're doing. Don't feel like it's not a job, because it is a job. It's flipping hard work caring for someone, it really is. You know, maybe you get to stay at home every day, but that doesn't mean that it's easy work, and it can be physically very tough as well, especially as children get bigger if you're caring for an adult. Be proud, you're doing an amazing thing. You know, if you weren't looking after this person, their quality of life would be so much worse. You know, so it's a really wonderful thing. If you're a carer, you're doing something amazing. Well done, you know, hats off to you, that's brilliant. But yes, it is a job. It is just as hard as any other job, just because you get to stay at home. So I think that's all my points. I apologise again for waffling on at you all. I hope it has given you a little bit of an insight as to how I feel about caring. I haven't always been in a positive place about it. I won't always be in a positive place about it, I'm aware of that, but it is a great privilege to have my daughter here with me still, and to be able to stay at home and look after her every day is lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give that thumbs up button, it helps us get noticed. Do subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, it'd be great to have you as part of our community, and please do share with other people that you think may benefit from this video, as always in my series of Robin. So thank you very much for watching, and I am looking forward to seeing you all in the next video. Many thanks for watching, bye!